Alright, so I've been working on this gun now for quite some time. A few weeks now it took me to do this, but in reality I've been just doing stuff to this probably every week and every month for years and years now. It is my go-to gun. I bought this thing years and years ago. It was my first gun that I bought myself. And before anybody gets into it and starts writing comments, even before this video starts, you say you ruined the price of it. You can't restore an original because you take away the price. I don't really give a rat's ass about the price because then my mind will die with this thing. So I want it to be as useful as possible for me, that is, and just to look as best as it can for me. So I'll go through a hopefully quick rundown of what I did to this thing. I'll start from the buttstock, I guess. So, number one here, which isn't very professional setting, but it was down here, so I'm like, okay, I'll make a video. I'll probably go over this some other time. So, buttstock, number one. It's a standard rifle crescent butt plate on here, but I have really long arms, and I also have a Tang sight, which we'll go over after. So it takes away, at least an inch and a half, like 2 inches of reach or a pull, I think it's called. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Anyways, it really gets into your shoulder also. So now I made myself a leather butt pad or shell holder. Just with no shells on the other side. It's just a leather buttstock cover, but with a flat shotgun style butt plate. So that gives me more reach on the rifle. I'm more comfortable. It gives me more eye relief on my sight, which also means I don't stamp it in my face, which is always a plus in my books. So when I was doing that, I wanted a sling. Like, how am I going to mount a sling? If I have this thing on, I'm not going to drill a hole in my stock. So I have all the parts for this rifle. I have everything to put it to its factory spec when it came out the factory, like it did in like 1888, I think it was. So nothing was originally altered on this thing at all. I just switched out parts and I kept everything, just to make it clear. So I drilled a hole, or I punched a hole through the butt plate, or through the leather butt plate, I should say, not to offend anybody out there. Through the leather butt plate. So I put my original. This is like the 19th century original hook style sling mounts. I'll show you a close up in the front. But this is like the original stuff. Paid an arm and a leg for them. I try to keep everything as period correct as possible. So then I added my little sling, and on my little sling I had this thing from Tiny Leather, a little concho I think they're called. So I just put it in there, a nice buck, but it was fitting. So leather butt plate, I made it, leather butt plate, shotgun style buttstock cover. I think it looks cool. So then moving up, I have a Tang sight, which is, here we go. I'm actually going to try even to make this thing. Is it better like this? Yeah, it's better. So this is a custom, handmade. Just a really nice person sent me on the forum. I was in the market for some, but if you're not aware, these things can run up to about like USD to like Canadian. They probably start like $300 and end up at like the $5,000, $10,000. You pretty much get custom ones however you want, because these things are made for like super long range. And this one was made on a lathe, on a milling machine, all by hand, which I'm super grateful for. And this nice man sent it to me. So I'll use this thing. It's not even adjusted yet. I shoot with it, but the range and everything isn't calculated. If I shoot and the plate goes ping, I'm happy. But I'm going to take this thing hunting. Depending how far the range is, and stuff, I'll adjust this thing. But this isn't my only sight, so we'll get to that later also. So this thing folds back like this, hence why I need an elongated, I guess you could say, elongated shotgun style butt plate or stock, because this, my eye probably comes right here, I'll stamp myself in the face. I'm telling you this by experience. This adjustment nut here stamps me right underneath the eye socket. So also, with protection for the sight and my little seeing orbs, I put this thing on because I don't want to get stamped anymore. just like that. So if I shoot it with the iron sights, the barrel sights, I'll keep this thing on, and my face is fine. I'm like an inch away now since I added the leather buttstock cover. Moving up, I'm going to zoom on this thing. Here we go. Moving the camera a little bit. This is just in one take, I'm making it simple. Close it. My custom lever. So I made a large loop lever for this. This is a Chiappa lever. Like I said, I didn't alter any original, nothing like that. I still have my original lever. So what happened was that I cut this thing right here. I cut this thing here. This is like a 1/8, I think, flat bar, steel flat bar. I bent it around. So this is a flat bar. This curve here, because I wanted the flat curves. I wanted the. This is hard to say, but I understand it myself. I wanted these two curves to be, factory spec, so that it hugs the receiver properly. So I didn't want none of that like weird floppy lever that gets in the way or nothing like that. So this curve is from a Chiappa lever. So Chiappa gets its name from because the guns don't have any safeties on it. They're factory spec. So I asked people, I'm like, would it be compatible? Like, I don't know. So I spent again, with the shipping and everything, the fees and everything, an arm and a leg, just to get a Chiappa lever. This thing was all blued and stuff. It didn't match, so it was case hardened, so I re-blued it so it matched and everything. Yeah, so this is a piece of flat bar. This here is a piece of flat bar that I hooked up onto the original lever curve that comes back up, like I forged out so that it hooks up perfectly onto the other factory curve that's here, this C shape that's here. And I added some just leather wrap to it just because it's a lot more comfortable, and flat bar, even ironed out, really digs into your knuckles when you're working a lever. People say it's a finger lever, you only need one finger, you need two fingers. This is a larger caliber. It's not a 5110 or anything, but I'm like, it's a long action. I want my full hand in there, gloves in the winter, being a Canadian, I need some gloves, so big lever. Now, moving up, the receiver. The receiver was badly pitted. It was really, really bad when I bought the gun. I think 2 years after, and this is maybe 5 to 6 years ago when I bought it. Average, trying to think back when I was in classes in college. I bought this thing in between classes in college. So, the pitting, the rust was disgusting. So, I lightly buffed it out. There was still a lot of pitting, so the rust would always come back and back and back all the time, would never leave. So now took me like a week and a half, probably 2 weeks. I hand sanded everything, a whole receiver. I'll show you guys on the other side. Now it looks like new, and I browned it. I browned it with, you can't see it, this stuff. The Mark Lee Express Brown #2. Heard it's really good. Apparently the Birchwood Casey's, I think it is, browning solution is also just as good. I don't know. Now my debate is that, as you can see, now I have the light on it. It looks almost like an orangish goldish, but if the neons come out, let's say like here, it gets to a pretty dark brown. But my issue is, do I like that yellowish tint? I put it on the forums for like, oh my god, it looks super cool. It looks like it's been like hundreds of years of abuse. It looks like a natural brown patina, and that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want nothing that looked brand new. So I didn't botch the job. I didn't mess it up on purpose, but I guess I was messing it up on purpose just for it to look cool. To my liking, that is. So that's the receiver. Now that's a flat side. If I'll flip it over on the other side, here you go. I left the loading gate. I blued that. I pretty much redid everything. I buffed the entire interior of this thing. It runs really smooth. Sadly, in the process, I used a punch that was too big, and I blew the lever bushing, so it falls out now. Already ordered one. It's already coming. So, flip this thing around. Also, I didn't mention anything, but I just blew the lever, and I achieved a dark black, like the lever, the loading gate, whatever, because I browned it first. I probably add like 2-3 coats of brown, and it gives it like a little yellowish, starting to fade into a dark orangish light brown. and then I cold blew it. So the cold blue already has a surface to catch on, and there's already been a video I think out there that's pretty good that covers that. So now moving down the barrel, a part that I actually just got today is an extremely rare part. This is an original Winchester Express 3-leaf sight, I think it is. I think it's a 2-leaf. I don't know. There's experts out there. No, I just think it looks cool. I have so many freaking sights for this thing. This is off of Marlin. Really great sights. I think they're like $10, I think. I don't know. This thing is hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But it looks cool, so I bought it, and it's period correct, right? They are extremely rare in this condition. This thing is almost brand new. I rubbed a little bit of bluing off. This thing was completely blued, 100%. That's my bad. But, so how it works is, I have trouble doing this on camera. Right now, it is flipped down. I have to stop moving. And this little square right here is from the previous sight I have on. I have a ladder, adjustable sight. I have everything for this gun. Right now, it is for 50 yards. Flip this up if I can. Surely can. Now the 50 yards is at the bottom. I'm trying to do this in focus with the gun. Like twist it around the camera. No, please focus. Okay. 50 yards at the bottom. Can't use it now. 100 yards is flipped up. Now it's sighted in for 100 yards. 100 yards isn't enough. You flip up the 200-yard one. So this is pretty much how an express sight worked back in the day. These days have ghost rings and stuff. Back in the day they had little peep sights, but these were the express sights because you just got sighted in, bam, right away, and one flick. This sight is pretty tight for my barrel, hence why I have trouble flipping them up. So I'm just leaving it at a 100-yard mark so that it kind of loosens itself up. So now, again, moving down the barrel once more. Here we go. Start with the nose cap, the Forend cap. This is a Chiappa one because as you can see, I have sling studs in here. These are the matching sling studs that came off a rifle. I don't know how old that had the same exact sling hook type sling mount. So this is a period correct. So I had to modify this sling mount in here. I welded a washer into here. Pretty much a disgusting job from the inside because I'm quite the welder, I'll tell you guys. The world's worst welder. But it looks good from the outside. That's all that matters. And if you look good, it doesn't matter how good you shoot, obviously. Because if you look cool, you look cool. It's all that matters. But yeah, so these things are actually pretty nice. I pinched this thing down because I had a tendency to the hook would just get unhooked, but now you really have to like bend it and get it out of shape. If you want to take your sling off, you're good to go. I could unhook it from the back and I'll be good. But yeah, these things are pretty cool. So yeah, sling mounts. I have another one of these to screw in the buttstock. It's also period correct and everything, but that's not what I'm going for, as I have my little homemade leather mount there in the back. So that's good. Like I said, Chiappa. Lever is also Chiappa. My mag nose cap here, I won't show you guys, but it is blued. You can probably see it here a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. Can you? Yeah, you can see it. It matches the barrel. Anyways, so yeah. It's just a blued nose cap. Thought it looked cool. And then my front sight. I'll try to zoom out over here. It's my block of wood. But yeah, front sight is just a standard, a copper blade that was factory spec to the gun when I got it. But yeah, so pretty much that's what I did to it. I work on this thing all the time. The only thing I have left now that I would like is to redo the barrel. But I don't have like a super professional bluing tank or anything. People are like, oh, you could just make it yourself and you plug a heater to it and everything. I will never do that in my entire life. So yeah, I haven't touched the wood either. I mean, I've added some. It's very dark and I like the look of it. The light makes it look darker than it actually is, but I just use pine tar on it. I pine tar and what's it called? And turpentine to liquefy it. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts. I know this isn't going to be for everybody because there's purists out there. People are not going to like the look of it. But like I said, I like input from everybody. I like to read the comments. So yeah, in a perfect world, I mean, I've seen one rifle exactly like this that was, people say I was bubbad, but hey, it looks really good to me. It's with a shorter barrel. So, I mean, it's an 86, exact same configuration as this. People are like, oh my god, they ruined it. They cut the barrel like up to here. Which, in my world, because I walk a lot in the woods with this thing, I think it weighs 7 to like 9 pounds. I think an 86, depending on the configuration. Fully loaded is like 9 pounds. But I had this thing on my back on the sling and jumping rivers and stuff, walking through like beaver dams and swamps and whatever, climbing up mountains. A short barrel is absolutely, like, for me, is insane. I would love it. I mean, I love this rifle just how it is. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, like in a perfect world, like if I had to have go in the water or something, I know it's not that expensive, but I get modern steel, modern rifling in there with a faster twist to get longer, heavier bullets, and I would get a shorter barrel, probably cut it down like 4 inches, custom made barrel. And at that point, pretty much only the receiver would be factory. But I mean, hey, whatever. So yeah, that would be pretty much my dream gun. But this thing, as mentioned, works absolutely flawlessly. I really like it. The whole workbench is an absolute mess. You can see over there, just the sandpaper is everywhere. It's just freaking crazy. It took me like weeks to do this since I was doing 12-hour shifts and everything. But yeah, so that's my little project that I had here. Working on and off. I mean, on and on. That's something. But yeah, the bushing I think is on this side. I lost a little lip on the other side, so it just doesn't really want to. If I cycle it properly or like standing up, then the bushing might fall out. But I mean, you see this thing is just absolutely. I just like it. It's buttery smooth. I don't think I mentioned it, until now, until the end, which is a shame. But it's a 40-82 caliber. It's not 45-70 like every other, 99.9% of 86s out there. This one's a 40-82 express cartridge, so the express sights make sense. I'm trying to really just get the period correct stuff for this, so yeah. Actually, it's a super long video. I just drag this on forever. But I tried to go into as much detail as possible. Give you guys a close up. As I said, just one take here. Tried to really get that color in there. See, it's just like multicolored. Almost looks like a botched, absolutely messed up case hardening job. Which honestly I don't really mind. But yeah, so my sling mounts. These things are so expensive. And then again, like I said, don't really care about the value of the gun. I just wanted to look how I wanted it to look, and collector's value. I'm aware that people are like, oh my god, it's not worth nothing anymore. Well, yeah, because hopefully I'll die with this thing as mentioned. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and please just leave a comment and your opinion. Thanks.